Hi guys, today I'll be starting with a new session that is loop control structure. So this topic is very important as it is covered in almost all of your program for efficiency purpose guys. So let's see what is this loop control structure. So this loop, what it is, when some action need to be done more than once for different inputs, then it is called as looping. So guys, when something is worth doing, then it is worth doing it multiple times. For example, guys, suppose in real life, say if you are going for a morning walk. So this morning walk you are going for one day. So you can do it multiple days. You can go morning walk for different days. So you can see guys here, the action that is walking, morning walk is same. But the details, that is the time, suppose one day you are going morning walk at time 6 o'clock. Other day you are going morning walk, that is at 7 o'clock, and the that is changing, but the action that is walking is same. So details also the duration of walking. Suppose you are walking for one day for 1 hour, for another day you are walking as 30 minutes. So these are the different inputs. So so the time is changed for walking, the duration of walking is changed, days are also different. So these details are different, but the action you are doing the same, that is walking. So this is the case in the real life, that is same action you are doing but for different details. So this is like in C also, it suppose in similar manner, it suppose looping. So wherein same actions will be performed for different inputs. For example guys, if you want to calculate the gross salary of 10 employees, so you can see the implementation functionality of the calculating the gross salary will be the same, but it will be different because there are different employees which are having different inputs. They are having different basic salaries, HRA is different, but so you have to calculate the action which you will be performing will be the same, that is calculating the gross salary. The equation will be same, everything will be the same, but inputs are different. So in this case the looping comes, wherein it will provide you with the time which you have to mention, how much time you want the same code to be repeated, to be done actually for different inputs. So this is how it is. This is very much efficient because only single code will be workable for different inputs. We will see how it is workable ahead in our session guys. But here just understand, looping means wherein same piece of code, that is say calculating the gross salary, will be repeated for different employees. So it will avoid the case if you're not using loop, then what will be the problem? The problem is that suppose you have same example, gross salary you need to calculate for 10 employees, and you have to take the input from one employee as the basic salary, HRA, and then you need to calculate the gross salary. You have to do the equation of it. Again, second time you have to take the second input from second employee. Similarly, so you can see how the code is getting increased. So this decreases the efficiency, it increases the size of the code. So here we are not using a loop. Simply we are doing same set of operation for different inputs. We're dumping same code again and again. So what will be the scenario when there are 1000 employees? Again the same thing, the code will be increased. So this hampers the efficiency and it will be like not at all efficient and very time consuming. So to avoid that, C has provided you the provision to use loop. By the looping, the same operations can be performed. Only one time you write your operation and you write the iteration, how much time you want that same operation for different inputs. Let's see how it is achieved. So in C there are three so in C guys there are three. So here I have listed whatever I explained you guys. Example of walking actually. Then is C, suppose 3 types of looping. That is, first is the while loop, second is the for loop, third one is the do while loop. So in this session guys, I will cover only the while loop. Again, I have divided this session into 3 different lectures for your convenient purpose. So in future, you can refer, it will be easy for you to just refer particular lecture for understanding particular concept instead of going into the whole session and just looking where I have covered while loop, for loop, like that. So guys, this will be also very much interesting because it will be dedicated for those topic itself. So let's see one by one. So in this lecture I will cover while loop. Let's see guys, and another wait for other lectures where we will cover for loop and do while loop guys. So after this lecture, there will be another lecture for loop, another lecture for do while loop. So in the while loop, what does it mean? So let's see. So like one more example of the while loop, guys. So in while loop, first of all, we have to give the number of times we want that particular action to be performed. So guys, see another example, like you have to calculate the percentage of 10 students. So you will you will take the so number of iteration will be 10 times, because the 10 students we need to calculate the percentage, and we'll take different inputs, like you will tell the students to give the marks obtained, suppose in 5 subjects. So the inputs will vary for 10 students. We'll take the marks, and the operations will be the same of calculating the percentage, guys. So let's see actually. So let us see the example which we will be doing in the code block. So here is that we want okay, so it's like okay, so we have to calculate the simple interest, guys. So for three times we have to calculate the simple interest. So simple interest, how it is calculated? Then we have the input as P, principal, N and R. So what we will do, we will perform 3 times the same action of calculating the simple interest by taking 3 different inputs. Let's see, guys, then you will understand more. Then I'll detail about do and don'ts of that while loop, what should be done, how the syntax is, that everything I'll cover, guys. So first we'll cover the program so that you'll understand clearly. So let's create a project. So guys, double click on code block which is there on your desktop. Then this window will be launched. To create a project, click file, select new, and then select project. So guys, select console application. So here click on next. Since C programming, therefore I'll select C, click on next. I'll write the name as loop, since while loop. Guys, always give short and meaningful name. That is good programming practice. Give the folder name as you want this project to be dumped. Then click on next, click on finish. Don't touch those things. So guys, by default it will dump a default program, hello world program for you. So let me delete it, I don't want that. So guys, always mention, whenever you start with the program, mention with the comments what is the objective, so that the user will understand. So let here is to calculate simple interest. To calculate simple interest using while loop. So guys, date when this project was created. And the author. Whosoever writes the code can give those name. So then this ends the comment. Let's start the program, guys. So we will accept input from user as P and R, so that we will calculate the simple interest. So guys, I'll explain you what I'm doing exactly, how I'm achieving while loop here. So I'll explain you guys, don't worry. Since I want to take 3 times different inputs of P and R from the user, enter P and R. I want this to display on new line, that the /n. So guys, scanf to accept the input from user. So personally, I'll tell you guys, don't worry what I'm doing. So guys, as I told you earlier also, why this printf and scanf is used. Printf is used to display the message on the console, and when you are calling this function, then you should declare the header file stdio.h. So the compiler have provided you with the standard library which is having the corresponding header file which have the declaration of this function. So this is used to display message. Similarly, same header file is having this declaration of scanf, which is used whenever you want to give an input on the console. So since we want the user to give input as the value of P, the value of N, value of R. So guys, scanf is given in this format. You have to give the format specifier. This is called as format specifier. Since the PN and R are integer format, integer form, so I have given %d, and R is in the real form, so I have given %s. So corresponding format specifier will be corresponding to the value which is given after the comma. So this %d corresponds to P, second %d corresponds to N, and third %f corresponds to R. So this is how we are using it. So let's calculate simple interest by this equation actually. P into N into R actually divide by 100. So then I'll print it. So guys, I'll explain you one by one what I'm doing. So don't worry guys. So here this is integer. Okay, count what is remaining and is there. Okay, P should be done right in the sequence. Focus R and S. So guys, okay, let's see. Okay, and one more important thing that is required in the value is this. So guys, I'll explain you each line by line, don't worry. Okay guys, so what we are doing guys, first of all we are using a while loop for looping purpose. So why this is while loop is used, I told you the purpose. Since we want to calculate the simple interest for 3 sets, that is we want 3 times to perform the simple interest and we want the user to give 3 times different inputs. So instead of writing 3 times the code, we are using this while loop which C have provided for efficient purpose. In this while loop, we should write number of times condition which will have number of times which we want, where we want this particular action to be performed. We want 3 times this simple interest to be performed. So I have taken this count, I have initialized it. So always when you give the while loop, you first initialize that variable here. Then in the while loop, you write the condition. You should always write the condition which will have a stop point. So here, why the stop point? Because guys, I have given less or equal to 3. If there would not be a stop point, then this loop will go on executing. So it would be an indefinite loop and you can understand it. Your program would have stuck here. If you give other statements here actually after the while loop, it won't get executed guys. So therefore, this will also result to crash and haphazard results. So so you should always remember, if you give any condition, that condition should stop at some point. In the case I'm giving here count is equal to 1, count less or equal to 3, that means I'm saying then this condition is, till this condition you just execute this code. If this condition is not there, if this condition turns false, then just come out of the while loop. So guys, this is very much important. So this is the body of the loop wherein I'm asking the user to print me, enter this value PNR. I'm taking the inputs using scanf. I'm calculating this expression. I'm printing the result. And I'm incrementing the count. So guys, why I'm doing this? So in while loop, you should, since I want 3 times to be done to this, since first the count was 1, so this condition is satisfied, yes. Then this code is executed. Then second time, since I want 3 times the code to be executed, I'm incrementing the count. Now the earlier the count was 1, this condition was satisfied, this code was executed. When the count increments, the count becomes as 2. This condition will be again checked, yes, 2 is less or equal to 3, yes, this body will be executed, again the count will become 1, again this will come here, it will check count is 3, yes, it is satisfying because it is equal to 3, yeah, and this body of the loop, then again count increases, count becomes 4, so 4 less or equal to 3, no. So at that time this control comes out of this while loop and then you are done with this execution, and then the statements which is there after this while loop will be executed. That is, here I am not given any statements, you give, that will be executed. So you can see how much times count is equal to 1, count is equal to 2, count is equal to 3. Till that time same operation of calculating simple interest will be there, and different inputs user can give at different iteration. So guys, you can see here we have used this variable. So we are incrementing this variable. So it is called as index variable, the variable which you are using here, and you are incrementing this count. So it is also called as loop counter. So this is your loop, while is a loop, and this is called as counter because in the iteration here you are incrementing the count. So that is the reason it is also called as loop counter, this variable, or called as index variable. So always remember, for a while loop, first initialize the variable, then check the condition using that variable where it should come to stop point at some step, and then here just increment the counter. So guys, you can also decrement the counter, anything can be workable. So if you are, I could have also written as, since I have written count is equal to 1, count less than 3, and then count plus 1. So I could have also written as count is equal to 3, then count greater or equal to 0, and then count is equal to count minus 1. Because I want 3 times, so that will be in that case, count is equal to 3, then count is equal to 2, then count is equal to 1, and then it will come outside that loop using the decrement. Instead of using increment, I can also do decrement actually by giving different values, like count is equal to 3, count greater or equal to 0, and count is equal to count minus 1. So again 3 times the loop would have repeated. So by incrementing it also it can be achieved, by decrementing also it can be achieved. So this is the example, guys. Let's run the program. So guys, let's run the program. Just a second. Okay. Compile the current file. Okay, no errors. So let me check running the program. It should ask me to input 3. Okay, n. So 100, then 2, say 2.1. It is calculating the simple interest again. Enter P and N. Suppose 1000. This is 20. This is 14.7. Again, it is calculating again. This value again. This value again. This value, guys. So again it has calculated. So 3 times it asked me to enter P and R values, and 3 times it have calculated the simple interest. This is how, guys, this code works. So you got, and I hope so you got the logic of the program. So let's come back to the documentation and see what importance, what do and don'ts are there, and what syntax you should obey. So guys, first of all, I'll explain you the flowchart. So here I've given the flowchart of the program which I have we have performed. So first, guys, whenever you are given any program statement, first it's better way you do some rough work on your notepad and you draw the flowchart. So this flowchart will contain what logic you will be performing in your program. So this is the logic of the code. So guys, after this logic you do in your notepad, then you start your program in code blocks. That won't take much time. So this will take time, but that won't take much time. So guys, this is also interviewer favorite question. Whenever they will give you the program statement, they will directly tell you draw the flowchart. So these are the symbols for the flowchart for different conditions, different statements. Please note it; it's very much important. So I'm giving you just note that start and stop is given by this symbol. Then this is an expression is given by rectangle. Condition is given by this symbol. Printf and scanf is given by this symbol, guys. So let's see what we are doing. We are starting the program. We are initializing the count as 1, what we have seen in the code block. We are writing the condition less or equal to 3. So this condition is satisfied, yes. Then it will take the input from the user P and R. It will calculate a simple interest. It will print that value. Then again, this count will increment actually, and then it will check whether this condition is still satisfied, yes. Again, same operation. So this will go on till count is less or equal to 3. When count becomes 4, then this condition is not satisfied. It stops the program. This is the flowchart, guys. So guys, this is a generalized this flowchart which I have explained here. That was for the program which I have done. And for generalized flowchart, actually, for the while loop I have given. So what we do in the while loop, we first initialize. I told you to initialize in this manner. So we are initializing this count is equal to 1. This is the initialization part. Then we are doing the condition. This is the condition part actually, using this using that loop counter. This is count is called as loop counter. We are performing some condition. Then the body of the loop, if it is satisfied, then this body of the loop comes, and then count will be incrementing. Again, it will be checking for this condition. If not satisfied, then it will come outside this while loop. So what is stated here in the flowchart, body of the loop increment, check the condition. If it is satisfied, well and good, it will execute. If not, no problem, it will stop the program. This is the generalized flowchart for the while loop, guys. So note below things. First of all, you should give in this manner, initialize the loop counter. I told you that this particular variable is called as index variable. That is count is called our loop counter. Initialize the loop counter, use the while condition you should write using the loop counter, write the statements here and then increment the loop counter. You can increment or decrement anything. So guys, these are the things which you can do actually. So you can just have a look on it. What is the thing? First of all guys, this condition which we have given here can be also an expression. Also it can be an expression, also it can be condition using the logical operators or relational operators. So guys, logical operators, relational operators I have covered in the operator session. What is logical operators? It is using and or. And relational operators are greater than, greater equal, lesser than, lesser equal or not equal. So in our case we are using the relational operator here to check the condition. You can use logical also to combine two or more expressions. You can use and or. So these things you can use. Also guys, whenever there is a multiple statement, then you should give it in the curly braces like that. But if it is a single statement guys, so in that case I just give it like this, printf, no issues, or if you don't write the braces, if it is a single statement guys. But if it is because by default if you the compiler will execute, if you don't write any braces, that is this braces, then the compiler will execute the line which is immediately after the while loop, the first line, not other lines. So if you want multiple lines, you just give in the braces. So these points you should check actually guys. So also instead of increment loop counter, you can also decrement the loop counter. So all these things I have made a note of it. You can refer it guys. Also since we are using the loop counter by, we are incrementing it by 1, we can, instead of using integer 1, we can also use a float real values like plus 0.5. We can write float count and then count is equal to count plus 0.5. So that is also workable guys. So these things you can just refer, whatever I have told you now, I have listed it. So these things you should take care of. So guys, let me come here as in. So guys, if you don't write this statement, what will be the scenario? So in this scenario, if you just don't increment the counter and this count will become 1, count will be checked, yes, condition is checked, this will be executed, it's calculating simple interest. But you are not incrementing the counter. Again, after executing the whole body, again it comes here. So since you are not incrementing the count is still 1. Again this condition is satisfied, again this loop is executed, body is executed, again we are not incrementing, again the same value. So the value will be same actually every time. So you can see there is no stoppage actually. So it will go to indefinite loop actually, which will block your program here. The process will be running only and it will take huge memory, resulting to also can crash your system actually and can cause haphazard results. So you just avoid all these things guys. So you understand it's very much important to also increment this counter. It's very much important to give a stoppage point actually, so that at some particular point this condition should become false, so that your loop don't go into indefinite loop. So it should be for particular iteration but not for indefinite loop. So this is the things we should take care. Here also in I specify the same thing. We are initializing the variable, we are checking the condition, but we are not incrementing the counter. So always I will be 0. This condition will be always satisfied with print hello only. So it won't come, the control won't come outside of this while loop. It will remain stuck here. So this is not good at all. It will take huge memory. It is not efficient. So take care of these things. Again, case of indefinite loop guys, you have seen here. I'm using initializing it, I'm putting some stoppage point, I'm using counter increment. Okay, but what is the problem here? I'm writing a semicolon after this while loop. So what does it mean? So when I is equal to 0, I less than 10 and semicolon, that means it won't come here. These things won't be executed. It will be always here. Always I is equal to 0 is satisfied and the control will be stopped here, will be stuck here. So this statement won't be executed. So this will go to indefinite loop. So these are the scenarios which you should take care of guys. So note points are guys, here we are using count is equal to count plus 1. This operator we are using. So you can also use here actually in this line, you can also use this operators guys. That is plus increment plus equal to, you can use, that is assign, again incrementing, plus is incrementing, plus equal to 1 again incrementing. You can use other compound assignment operators. So you can just go through the assignment operators which I've covered in the operator session guys. So here you can use minus equal to, multiplication equal to, division equal to, mod equal to in case of this. any operators you can use, any such operators you can use, which I have mentioned here, guys. So below things are workable, just to make a note. So guys, if you are initializing int I is equal to 0, and if you write while I plus plus less than 10. So guys, here you are seeing you're not adding one more statement of incrementing, because guys, this is also workable, because here only in this while loop only you are, first of all, it is post increment operator, because I plus plus, so it will check I less than 10. Yes, 0, I is 0, so I less than 10 is satisfied, and then it will increment this I plus plus. So guys, here only the incrementation is taking place. So this thing will be workable actually. Another thing, you can also use a pre-increment operator here. So this will also work. So guys, I am done with this while looping actually explanation. So you understood the points, guys. So looping, you understood why we want same action to be repeated for different inputs. Then looping is required, is very efficient. Then we have seen real-time example of going morning walk. Then having lunch, actually again time will be different. Items you ate are different in case of, but action that is having lunch activity is same, but inputs are different, and you are doing lunch every day. So this is how same action is there, but for different inputs. In that case, you can go for looping, which when only one code will be used for different inputs, instead of writing the code again and again for different inputs. So this is the usage of looping, and we have seen what is the while loop. We have seen the program actually calculating simple interest for 3 set values. We have seen the flowchart. We have also seen the generalized flowchart for the while loop. We have seen the syntax, how to use the while loop, what all things plays roles. These 3 things are important: initialize, the loop counter, then this while condition, and increment. You can decrement on these things you can use actually. You can achieve the condition by using logical or relational operator here. You can decrement the counter. You can use other operators here also. In case of incrementing the loop counter, you can use operators that are equal, not equal. Then these compound assignment operators you can use actually, guys. You can use you can use plus equal, plus plus, you can use plus equal, you can use minus equal, you can use multi. All these operators, compound assignment operators, you can use, guys. And below things, guys, can be work how the loop goes into indefinite. So guys, all these things please make a note. So guys, I'm done for now for this while loop. In the next lecture, I'll be covering the while loop, and similarly for other lecture, I'll be covering do while, and this is how we will complete with the loop control structure. So guys, you can understand we are going by understanding the concept, by the flowchart, by the diagram, notepad if it required, and then we are doing the program in code blocks, so that you will have an hands-on the program, guys. You will understand the concept more well actually. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot.